Only 3 hours left. This is about your brother. This. My dear child, if you believe in angels, start this video and watch it completely. Angel says this is not a message that can wait, and it is not something you can afford to put aside for later. This is something you need to open your heart to right now, in this very moment. Archangel Michael has been watching over you for a long time, and there are times when he simply observes, guiding silently, without words, without visible signs, but then there are rare moments like this, moments when heaven opens, when God's own light shines upon your path, and when the urgency in Michael's voice carries a weight you cannot ignore. He says, only 3 hours remain, and the matter is about your brother. This Tuesday will bring something that will change not only his life, but yours, and the ripple will be felt in ways you cannot yet imagine. God is speaking softly yet firmly into your spirit right now, saying, you have been asking for truth, you have been asking for clarity, and you have been praying for the revelation of what has been hidden. And now, heaven is answering. You may not realize it, but certain pieces have been moving in your life, rearranging quietly in the background, preparing for a moment just like this. A door is about to open, one that will reveal what your brother has been carrying deep within, perhaps for years, perhaps since childhood, perhaps something he has been too afraid or ashamed to speak aloud. But the time for silence is ending. Michael says he has stood in the very room where your brother was just last night. He stood near his bed, watching as your brother tossed and turned, his spirit restless, his mind heavy with thoughts he could not push away. There was something on his phone he looked at repeatedly, a message, a picture, or perhaps a number he kept hovering over without pressing call. He was fighting within himself, torn between revealing the truth and protecting you from it. But heaven has decided, you must know. You must understand that God does not bring such urgent warnings unless the moment is critical. 3 hours is not a metaphor here. It is a divine countdown, a window in which something must be understood, prayed over, and prepared for. Michael says, if you ignore this, the next few days could unfold in a way that will leave you feeling blindsided. But if you listen now, if you lean in and ask for the full truth, you will step into the coming events already armored in divine wisdom. There is something about Tuesday. You may have thought it would be just another day, one more step in your week. But in heaven's calendar, it is marked with bold letters, circled in a way that draws the attention of every angel assigned to you. Your brother will be in a place, either by choice or by unexpected circumstance, where the truth will be forced into the open. Michael warns that there will be others present, people who will have their own reactions, some shocked, some angry, and some relieved. But your role will be unique. You are not meant to react as the world would react. You are meant to stand as God's vessel in that moment, steady, loving, but firm in truth. God whispers to your spirit now, do not let fear take root. The enemy will try to twist this revelation into a seat of division between you and your brother, but heaven's intention is not to destroy. It is to heal, to restore, and to bring light where shadows have been lurking. What your brother has been carrying has not only weighed him down, it has indirectly affected you in ways you might not have realized. This is why your prayers have felt like they've been hitting an invisible wall sometimes, why blessings have been delayed, not because God did not want to bless you, but because this hidden matter had to be confronted first. Michael says he has been guarding both of you for years, preventing certain accidents, turning away certain dangers, and making sure that despite mistakes, the ultimate destruction the enemy intended never reached you. But this Tuesday, something shifts. The protection remains, but the truth must enter the picture, because without truth, there can be no true freedom. Heaven wants you to know that the events of Tuesday will be linked to something from the past, possibly years ago, that you either forgot or never fully understood at the time. It may involve a person who is no longer part of your daily life, but whose shadow still lingers in your family's history. Michael shows an image of a closed box, inside are letters, pictures, or papers, and says this box, whether physical or symbolic, contains the missing pieces to a puzzle you didn't know you were trying to solve. God is urging you now, pray in these remaining hours. Ask for wisdom, discernment, and peace that surpasses understanding. The enemy will try to stir chaos, to make you act from emotion rather than spirit, but you must rise above that. Heaven will give you the strength to listen more than you speak, to see beyond the surface words, and to feel the heart behind what your brother says. Michael also says there's a secondary matter, someone else, perhaps not related by blood but close to your brother, who has been influencing him. This person may be the reason certain truths have been hidden, perhaps even pressuring him to keep silent. They may not want you to know because your knowing could dismantle something they benefit from. You must be spiritually sharp to recognize this influence and not be deceived by appearances. You will also notice signs in the hours leading up to Tuesday. Michael says to watch for a sudden change in your brother's behavior. Maybe he will reach out unexpectedly or act unusually quiet. You might overhear something that seems random but is actually a clue. Pay attention to dreams in these next nights. Heaven may choose to reveal more through them. Do not be afraid if you feel a heaviness in the atmosphere. It is simply the weight of truth pressing against the barrier that has kept it hidden. When that barrier breaks, light will flood in, and though the first moments may feel overwhelming, there will be a little more to be done. There will be relief afterward. God says, you will look back on this Tuesday and understand that it was not an accident, not a coincidence, but a divine appointment. The timing is perfect, even if it feels sudden. Heaven has waited until both you and your brother were in a place where this truth could be faced. And now you are. Michael says he will be with you every step, standing at your right hand, speaking to your spirit even if you cannot hear his words with your ears. You will feel his presence as a quiet strength, a steady courage, and you will know you are not alone. Your role is not to fix everything in that moment, but to receive the truth, hold it before God, and trust Him to guide the next steps. The days after Tuesday will bring clarity, deeper understanding, and the beginning of a healing process that has been delayed for far too long. 3 hours. That is the window you have now to prepare spiritually. Use it well. Pray. Listen. Be still before the Lord. The truth is coming, and when it arrives, you will be ready, not because you forced it, but because heaven called for it, and you answered. God says these 3 hours are like 3 breaths of heaven, moments where the veil between what is seen and unseen is thinner than usual. Every passing minute now carries weight, every second has purpose. You may feel an unusual energy in your spirit, a quiet stirring that makes you both alert and unsettled at the same time. That is because your soul already knows something is shifting in the spiritual realm, and your heart is being prepared for what your ears will soon hear. Archangel Michael has not come to you lightly. He has watched countless moments pass in your life, choosing not to intervene with words but instead with silent acts of protection. But this time, he speaks with urgency because he knows the ripple effect of Tuesday's events will touch more than just you and your brother. It will move through your family, through your memories, through the way you view certain chapters of your past, and even through the way you pray for your future. Michael shows a vision. There is a long hallway lined with doors. Each door represents a season of your life, some open, some locked, some sealed shut by things you never wanted to revisit. As he walks with you down this hallway, you stop in front of a door that has been locked for years. The wood is worn, the lock rusted, and the air feels heavy around it. Michael takes a key from his belt and presses it into your hand. This Tuesday, he says, you will unlock this door. When the door swings open, you will see a truth that has been waiting in the shadows. It will be like finding a missing photograph in an old album, one that explains the expressions, the silences, and the things that are in the shadows, and the strange moments that never made sense before. God says, this truth is not to destroy you, but to free you. Still, freedom often comes with a shock, because it demands that we see things for what they are, not for what we wish they were. If you'd like to donate or show your appreciation, you can give a super thanks up to $100. Your brother's involvement in this truth is not accidental. God placed you in the same family for a reason, knowing that at some point, your stories would intersect in a way that would test your faith and your love for one another. That moment is now. Michael says your brother has been living with a spiritual weight on his chest, something that has kept him from fully stepping into his calling. There are nights he has stared at the ceiling, asking God if he should tell you, and every time he felt the push to speak, something or someone convinced him to remain silent. The one influencing him, Michael calls them, the shadow beside the brother, is a person with a calm exterior but a calculating spirit. This person fears your light. They know that if you are fully informed, you will have the power to make choices that weaken their hold. They have subtly worked to ensure that you and your brother remain slightly out of sync in your communication, so the truth never flows freely between you. But Tuesday will bring a divine crack in that wall. In the hours leading up to it, you may feel restless. You might even feel an urge to reach out to your brother, not knowing exactly why. Michael says if that happens, do not ignore it. Follow the prompting. Whether you speak directly or simply hold him in prayer, your intentional act will be part of what opens the path for the truth to emerge. God says you must be emotionally steady when the revelation comes. There will be details that might make you feel anger, sadness or disbelief. But heaven's instruction is clear: receive first, react later. This is because the enemy will try to bait you into reacting in a way that causes damage before healing can begin. If you stand in peace, even when the storm of words swirls around you, you will hold the authority to shift the outcome. Michael also reveals a symbol. He shows you a piece of paper with handwriting on it, slightly smudged as if it has been touched by many hands over the years. This paper represents the evidence or proof tied to the truth. It may be an actual document, a letter, a message or a contract, but it will carry undeniable weight. You will know it when you see it because your spirit will recognize its importance instantly. God says, do not fear the timing. Heaven is intentional. The fact that this is happening on a Tuesday is not random. In biblical symbolism, Tuesday is the third day of the week, and the number 3 is often tied to resurrection, restoration and the completion of a cycle. Just as Jesus rose on the third day, this Tuesday will mark the rising of a truth that has been buried. Michael's presence on that day will not be subtle. You may feel a chill in the air even in a warm room or a sudden stillness that makes time feel slower. These will be signs he is near. When you feel that, remember to silently invite him to stand beside you, to speak to your spirit, and to shield you from any spiritual life. The spiritual arrows aimed in that moment. In the aftermath of the revelation, your brother may feel exposed, vulnerable, or even defensive. This is where your faith will need to rise above your emotions. Speak life, speak peace, and speak truth without adding fuel to fear or shame. Your reaction will determine how quickly healing can begin. God says, this will not just be about one hidden thing, it will be a chain reaction. Once this truth surfaces, other small truths will begin to come into the light, each one adding to the bigger picture of why certain things in your life have unfolded as they did. By the end of this month, you will look back and realize how much shifted because you listened, you prayed, and you obeyed this call to prepare. Michael leaves you with this: 3 hours is not long, but it is enough. In these hours, set your heart before God. Ask Him to anoint your ears to hear beyond the words, your eyes to see beyond the surface, and your spirit to discern beyond the obvious. When the truth comes, it will be like the sun breaking through thick clouds. At first blinding, but then warming, illuminating, and life-giving. Do not be afraid. I will be there. God says, child, I am with you in this moment, and I am not leaving you. The air around you is already shifting, the weight in the unseen is already moving, because my word has gone forth and it will not return void. Archangel Michael has been dispatched with full authority, his sword drawn, his eyes unblinking, watching every move that surrounds you and your brother. This is not an ordinary alert, this is a heavenly directive. 3 hours. That is all the time left before the spiritual clock strikes and the events set for Tuesday begin to align in the natural. Michael says he has walked in the places where your brother has walked this week. He has stood unseen behind him in conversations, in rooms where whispers floated just out of earshot, where the truth was present but not in the past. Your brother's spirit has been wrestling as if caught between two tides, one pulling him toward confession and light, the other trying to drag him deeper into secrecy and fear. Heaven has been patiently watching, but the patience is ending now because the appointed time has come. You have been feeling it, haven't you? The odd heaviness in your chest, the strange sense that something is about to be revealed, the way your thoughts keep drifting to your brother for no clear reason. That is not coincidence, that is the Spirit stirring your awareness so that when the moment comes, you are not blindsided. God says, I am letting you feel the echo of what is coming so that your spirit will be ready. Michael shows a scene, your brother on Tuesday, sitting in a place that is both familiar and charged with tension. Someone else will be there, possibly 2 or 3 people, one of whom has been holding back information for a long time. A conversation will start almost casually, but then something will slip out, a word, a detail, a name. And that will be the spark. You will feel in your spirit that the atmosphere has shifted. God says, do not rush to speak when the moment comes. Hold your peace for just a little longer and let the words flow. The truth will reveal itself without you having to dig or demand. But when it comes fully into the open, you will know exactly why heaven sent this message now. There is a reason the enemy did not want you to know this. There is a reason Michael is speaking with urgency. This truth has the power to break a long-standing cycle in your family, a pattern that has been quietly passing from one generation to the next. It has caused misunderstandings, mistrust, and even moments of quiet resentment. God says, I am ending it now, and I am starting the healing through this very revelation. But the healing will not be instant. It will begin with a wound being exposed. And you must be ready for that. You must remember that your brother is more than the truth he's been holding back. He is still the one I created, still the one I love, still the one you are meant to walk alongside. The enemy will try to convince you that this is the end of closeness, but heaven's truth is that it is the beginning of real closeness, the kind that can only come when nothing is hidden anymore. Michael says to watch for 3 signs before Tuesday. The first will be a sudden dream, one that feels more vivid than usual. In it, you may see a location or a symbol, a house, a door, or even a familiar object that carries hidden meaning. The second sign will be a brief, almost passing conversation with someone, where a single sentence will stand out to you as if it has been highlighted in your mind. The third sign will be a moment of stillness in your day, where the world feels quieter than normal and your spirit feels almost weightless. That will be Michael passing by, brushing your atmosphere with his presence to remind you he is close. God says you must anchor yourself in prayer during these hours. The enemy will try to distract you, to make you focus on trivial matters, or to stir small irritation so your spirit is unsettled. Do not allow it. Center yourself in me. Speak my promises out loud. Remind yourself that no matter what comes, I am not only your God, I am your shield, your fortress, and your truth. On Tuesday, when the moment arrives, Michael says your role will be twofold. First, to be a witness to the truth, and second, to be a carrier of peace in the midst of its unveiling. Your calm presence will keep the room from falling into chaos. Your silence at the right moment will allow the truth to speak for itself. And your words, when they finally come, will carry weight because they will be spoken with discernment and love, not impulse. This is why heaven has chosen you for this. Not everyone could handle this truth without letting it break them or turn them bitter. But God has prepared your heart through every trial you've faced, every season you've endured, every prayer you've prayed through tears. You are stronger than you realize, and your strength will be what allows this truth to lead to restoration instead of destruction. Michael says there is a hidden layer to this. Someone else beyond your brother may be connected to what is revealed. It could be a friend, a mentor, or even a distant family member. This connection may surprise you, but it will also make certain past moments click into place in your mind. You will realize that there were clues all along, but they were scattered, like pieces of a puzzle hidden in different rooms. Tuesday is the day those pieces will finally be brought to the same table. God says, you will feel my presence in that moment as surely as you feel the sun on your skin. It will steady your hands, slow your heartbeat, and give you clarity even as emotions run high around you. Trust that. Lean into it. These 3 hours before it all begins are not for fear, they are for preparation. And you are not preparing alone. Michael is here. I am here. All of heaven is standing with you, and no weapon formed against you or your brother will prosper. The truth is coming, child, and it will set you both free. God says, listen to me now and let nothing distract you, because this is not an ordinary moment. Heaven is leaning close to you right now. Archangel Michael has been standing beside you for hours, trying to get this message to you, and now the urgency is greater than ever. He says there are only 3 hours left, and what is about to happen concerns your brother this coming Tuesday. Do not panic, but do not dismiss this. We are speaking because your heart needs to be prepared and your spirit needs to be strengthened for what is coming. God will be with you every step of the way. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. But you must listen closely, trustfully, and pray deeply in this moment. You might be wondering why we are telling you not to share this with anyone. It is because the details of what is unfolding are not meant for careless ears or doubtful hearts. This is between heaven and you. If you speak it too soon, it can be distorted, misunderstood, or even interfered with. Heaven's plans are sometimes fragile in the beginning, like seeds. They must be protected until they take root. Your silence in this matter is not secrecy out of fear. It is protection for something sacred. Archangel Michael says he has seen what others cannot see. He has walked into the rooms where plans have been whispered about your brother. He has heard the words spoken. He has observed the choices being made. Some of these choices are not good, but God has already placed a divine shield over your family. The enemy has been circling, but cannot cross the boundary line God has drawn. On Tuesday, something will happen that could either break your brother or lift him into a completely new chapter of life. And you, yes you, will play a role in helping him take the right path. Do not be afraid. The reason we tell you, 3 hours left, is because something in the spiritual realm is closing and something else is opening. These 3 hours are critical because they are the final moments before the shift begins. During this time, every prayer you speak will be magnified. Every declaration of faith will carry greater power. Every word you speak over your brother will have eternal weight. This is why you must not ignore this. This is not the time for distraction or doubt. Your brother may not understand what is happening right now. He might even seem distant, busy, or involved in things that trouble you. But God says, I see beyond appearances. I know his heart. I know the hidden fears, the silent prayers, the unspoken regrets. I know the weight he carries, even if he never speaks of it. And I am working on his behalf. I have dispatched my angels to go before him on Tuesday. They will stand at the doors he enters. They will sit in the places where his decisions are made. They will walk with him even when he feels alone. Michael says there has been a battle over your brother's destiny for a long time. There are forces that have tried to mislead him, to cause him to doubt himself, to make him feel small, forgotten, or powerless. But those lies are about to break. There is a moment coming, so sudden it will feel like lightning, where he will see the truth clearly. He will recognize the traps for what they are. And you will witness a change in him that you have been praying for, sometimes in tears, sometimes in silence, sometimes even in frustration. God has not ignored those prayers. They have been collected in heaven like precious treasures. But hear me, between now and Tuesday, you must be steadfast. You must guard your own heart from fear. The enemy will try to plant doubt in you. He will try to make you believe that this message is just coincidence, that nothing is happening, that your prayers won't matter. But those thoughts are lies. In the unseen realm, your words are already shaping what will happen. Speak life over your brother. Call out his destiny. Declare his safety. Declare his favor. Declare that no weapon formed against him shall prosper. When you pray, see him surrounded by light so bright that no darkness can enter. See him walking with confidence, making choices guided by God's hand. God says that this Tuesday is not only about what will happen to him, it is also about the position you will take in his life from this day forward. You are not just a bystander. You are an intercessor. You are a chosen voice of protection over him. You will see things others overlook. You will sense things before they happen. That is a gift I have given you, says the Lord, and it will be important in the days to come. Do not doubt your discernment. When I whisper to you, believe it. In these remaining 3 hours before the shift begins, find a quiet place. Speak my word over him. If you can, even speak his name aloud and release blessing over him. Say that he will walk into Tuesday under the covering of the Most High. Say that he will not be swayed by deception. Say that he will recognize every trap and step around it. Say that doors meant for him will open, and doors meant to harm him will slam shut. The spiritual atmosphere will respond to your voice. Angels are listening for your agreements so they can act. Michael says, I am standing between your brother and harm. I have drawn my sword not to destroy flesh and blood, but to cut through the chains that have tried to wrap around him. I will not let him fall into the pit the enemy has dug. And God says, what the enemy meant for evil, I am turning for good. You will see my hand move. You will see the proof that I am faithful. You will look back on this Tuesday as the day everything changed. You do not need to know every detail right now. Some things are hidden for a reason. But trust that this is the appointed time. Trust that I have already gone ahead of him. Trust that nothing and no one can stop my plans. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your prayers strong. And remember, he is mine, just as you are mine. I hold you both in the palm of my hand. No one can snatch you away from me. The minutes are moving quickly now. Heaven is watching. The angels are already on assignment. You have been chosen to stand in the gap for your brother in this moment. Do not take it lightly. Do not grow weary. Do not grow weary. Speak faith. Pray without ceasing. And when Tuesday comes, watch what I do. You will stand amazed. God is with you. I am with you. You are safe. He is safe. Trust me, and you will see my glory. God says listen very carefully right now, because what is being revealed to you is not ordinary. This is a divine transmission meant only for your ears and your heart. Heaven has intercepted the noise around you so that you could be here in this moment, reading these words. Archangel Michael is beside me as I speak to you, and his expression is intense, urgent, yet filled with deep love for you. He says, don't tell anyone yet. Don't share this until you've prayed. This is personal. This is about your brother, and we have only 3 hours before something that has been in motion reaches its turning point this Tuesday. These are not words to frighten you, but words to prepare you, to strengthen you, to make you ready for the truth that will come. You are not reading this by chance. There are no coincidences in the kingdom of God. You have been guided here because heaven wanted you to be aware before the time came. God sees the whole picture. He knows the intentions of every heart. He knows what is spoken in secret. He knows every plan made in the dark. And now, because you are chosen, he is allowing you to see a glimpse before it happens. It's not to overwhelm you. It's to empower you to stand, to pray, and to trust that nothing, absolutely nothing, will happen outside his divine control. Archangel Michael says your brother is on a path right now that only heaven's intervention can fully redirect. There is something coming to light this Tuesday, something that will reveal truths you haven't heard, things you never imagined were connected to him. Do not panic. Do not allow fear to control your thoughts. Instead, you must remember, God will be with you. He will cover your family. He will make sure that even in the middle of what feels like a storm, you will be protected, and you will be safe. These next 3 hours are not ordinary hours. They are a divine countdown, a preparation window. Heaven is saying, be still, yet be alert. This is the time to speak less and pray more. There are conversations happening in unseen places, movements in the spirit realm, assignments being carried out by angels on your behalf. Archangel Michael himself is stationed, sword of light in hand, ensuring that no harm will come near your dwelling. He has been watching over your brother even when you did not know he needed such protection. He has been intercepting plans that were meant to harm, blocking words that were meant to wound, dismantling traps that were meant to ensnare. The reason God is telling you now is because he trusts you. He knows you have a heart that can handle truth, even when it comes with urgency. He knows you can pray with authority and not fear. He knows you will not allow this to make you turn against your brother, but rather you will intercede for him like never before. That is why he is showing you ahead of time. This is not to expose for shame. This is to reveal for protection. Archangel Michael says there have been moments lately when you have felt something was off, but you couldn't explain why. You may have dismissed it as overthinking, but that was heaven nudging you, letting you sense the spiritual undercurrents before they broke the surface. Now those feelings make sense. You were not imagining it. You were discerning it. Your spirit already knew something was approaching, but now the details are being revealed. And the timing is critical, 3 hours before the shift begins. This Tuesday, a situation involving your brother will unfold in a way that could have gone in a dangerous direction if not for heaven's intervention. But because God is speaking to you now, you can stand in the gap. You can pray for divine alignment. You can declare that no weapon formed against him shall prosper. You can invite God's power into every corner of this matter so that only His will is done. Even if things seem chaotic, remember, God is not the author of confusion. He is the author of peace, restoration, and truth. God says, "Rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you." This does not mean there